In the previous videos, we've been declaring variables using the var keyword. ES6 has brought other ways of declaring variables, the let keyword and the const keyword. Let's first start with the let keyword. With the let keyword, we declare variables, but when you use the keyword let, variables will not hoist. For example, here console log a, then we declare var a equal to 5. So when we console log here, we could console log this variable before we declare it, and it returns undefined. That's because when you use the keyword var, variables will hoist. It is as if the JavaScript engine takes all declarations to the top. It is as if we had something like this. But now let's try the let keyword. So this will throw an error. It says that a is not defined. It says that this variable is not defined. That's because when you use the let keyword, variables do not hoist. So let's fix this. Great, now it works properly. And also the let keyword is used with block scoping. In previous specifications of ECMAScripts, if we wanted to create a new scope, we would use functions. Only within a function, we could have a new scope. But now with ES6, we have block scoping that is simply created using curly braces. Let's add a new block. And now when we console log a after the block, a will still have the value of 5. But let's move the console log and put it within the block. And now a is having the value of 10. But look what happens if we use the keyword var. Then let's console log a after the block. And we have 10. This means that when you use the keyword var within a block, it doesn't create a new scope. A block is simply created using curly braces. This means if you use an if block, this will create a new block for your variables. Loops also will create a new block. Let's see an example. So this will console log 2. Because the a declared within the if block lives just within the if block. So I recommend that you start using this let keyword. It can be really useful. Now let's move to the next keyword, the const keyword. This const keyword allows you to define a constant. So let's do it. Let's define a constant. Notice that I'm using uppercase letters to define constants. Let's console log this new constant. And great, we have the right value. Now what happens if we assign to this constant a new value here? This will throw an error. That's because we cannot change the value of a constant. Once you initialize its value, you cannot change it. So let's define a constant, but this time it will be an object, and let's console log it. If we assign a new object to this constant, we will have an error. But what if we give to this object a new property, for example, the age property? Well, it will work. It will not throw an error. So this const keyword allows you to change this constant, but the only thing that is not allowing you to do is to assign a new value to it. When we assign a new value to the constant, it will throw an error. So now you have 3 new features: the let keyword, the const keyword, and block scoping.